This is the big day for Lucy Letby. She should be facing her victims in court. How are we in a situation again where a vile murderer can dodge the dock?
Well, look, I think it's appalling. I think she should be there. And I know that the Justice Secretary has said he's very committed to making changes that he needs to make sure that people who have committed awful crimes have to go to court so they can hear things like the victim's impact statement, which is really their moment to tell that person how this has impacted them.
So what do you think should be done? Because, I mean, are we awaiting legislation in the King's Speech, or could something happen more quickly with an amendment to the law that we have now? Because at the moment, this use of reasonable force doesn't seem to be producing the goods in terms of what the families want to see.
Well, look, I'm not a Justice Minister, but what I do know is that the Justice Secretary has talked about his commitment to it. I know that there is a commitment across government to making sure that people who have committed crimes are facing the reality of that so that they can hear these things. And my understanding that does mean that a change in the law is needed, and the Justice Secretary has said that he's committed to looking at that.
OK, well, what about the fact that there's going to be this inquiry now, and we're told that we will soon find out who'll be heading that, what the terms of it will be. But do you think it needs to be a statutory inquiry which has the power to compel witnesses to attend so that they can't avoid their moment being interrogated?
Well, one of the things that happens with inquiries is that we always have this debate about non-statutory and statutory. And I think the benefits of statutory, as you say, is that you get to compel victims. And the benefits of non-statutory is often that they're much quicker. And in this case, I do think that speed is of the essence. But the terms of reference haven't been published yet. And I know that the work that's being done now is really the most important work, which is talking to parents about what they want to see and making sure that the inquiry will cover everything that it needs to get the answers that we need in what has been, I think, one of the most sickening actions that we've seen in recent history.
Ms Coutinho, we have a minute left, and interestingly in the studio we were talking about social housing and the lack of it around the country, but you want to highlight another area, which is often you can be impeded running a business from a social house as a like childminding.
Yes, exactly. So one of the things that we are doing is making the single largest ever expansion of the childcare system. We know childcare is so important to families in terms of their children's education and development, but also family finances, ensuring that parents can go to work. And looking at the childminding sector in particular, we've noticed that, childminders are leaving the sector. That's been happening for a number of years. We've been aware of that. But talking to people, there's a few things going on, and one of them has been properties, in that 1 in 8 childminders...
I'm afraid we have to wrap there. I'm terribly sorry to interrupt you, but thank you for highlighting that important issue.